Thank you. I just want to make a few comments on the comments before we leave today. First of all, I'll emphasize one more time, it's been said part of our problem is that it's difficult for people to become citizens legally, and that's why we have a problem at the border. I'll remind people that last year we had 1 million people sworn in as citizens legally, the highest since 2006. I don't think anybody could say it's impossible to become a citizen the old-fashioned legal way. I try not to be a partisan person, but since President Biden has taken office, we've gone from having 20,000 to 238,000 people in a month come across our border, in which some people would say illegally. When you go up by a factor of more than 11 to 1, it's hard not to be incredibly critical of the Biden administration. I think that is also the reason why we have low morale at the border, and when people imply that somehow the Border Patrol are not ordered to do their job, the problem or the frustration for them, and morale is low, and I've been on the border 7 or 8 times, is that when so many Border Patrol agents are processing people asking for asylum and being let in here, they don't have time to guard the border. And that is why I think we have so many people streaming across the border between points of entry, is because the Border Patrol, which should be guarding those areas, is too busy doing paperwork as the result of decisions made by the Biden administration. I'll try to be bipartisan here in my criticisms. I wish President Trump had appointed Steve Miller to be in charge of the border policies earlier. I think he made a big mistake in waiting so long for that to happen. I'll also point out that something's been made of, that most of the fentanyl is found at points of entry. I think one of the reasons, and the Border Patrol will tell you this as well, one of the reasons they get more fentanyl at the points of entry is because they aren't catching it hardly at all between the points of entry, because they're busy doing paperwork. And if they had enough people to guard the other areas, they'd get a lot more fentanyl there as well. I think further evidence of where this administration stands, and I think Representative Biggs did a good job pointing this out, is a halt in, or not a halt, entire halt, but way less deportations than we've had in the past, which shows where the heart of the Biden administration is. Also point out that it's considered an insult to interpose the cartels with immigrants coming here. The vast majority of immigrants who come here off our southwestern border are having to pay the cartels to come here. So in addition to other problems resulting from too many people crossing the southern border, we are enriching the cartels. Every time you're down there, they tell me a Mexican, $5,000, somebody from India, $20,000, but the cartels are getting very enriched with the current policy. I would like to thank you guys for bringing in the dogs. Obviously, I'm a fan of dogs. That's one of the reasons we had these hearings. And hopefully the publicity we got for dogs will result in more dogs being available for you and other agencies in the upcoming budget, and perhaps earlier. I mean, one of the things that frustrates me about this 108,000 people are dying every year of illegal drug overdoses. I don't think this administration or this Congress has done enough. I mean, it's just a number, it's just a statistic, but it's such a huge statistic. I don't think the average American realizes, how great that is. My talking point is it's twice the number of people who died in the Vietnam War over 12 years every year. And if that many people were being died in murders, man, they'd be screaming for doubling the police forces of this country, screaming for more people in prison. But instead, there seems to be a total lack of urgency when so many young people are dying of these illegal drug overdoses. And I hope that in the future, Congress and state legislators don't let their dislike for putting more people in corrections stand in the way of stopping this huge amount of death that we're having from the illegal drugs. Something has been said about our relations with countries in Central America. I think Well, first of all, if you go to the border, your Border Patrol will tell people that the people coming here are not necessarily coming here out of desperation. Whether they look at the fact they all seem to have cell phones, or the clothes they're wearing, or insofar as they find out what their occupations are, the Border Patrol will tell you this is not poor people coming here out of desperation. It's just that things are best in America. And I think the best thing we can do for other countries is educate them on freedom, value of the free market, and that prosperity does not come from a big government. And I think, unfortunately, too many other countries around the world haven't got the message. But in any event, thank you for being here. You did a wonderful job. We'll check you off at an A. And we're done. Thanks.
Thanks, sir.